frustrating season, and at the end of the day, like you said, Emily, you just want to get over the line. You're just sick of seeing it all, and at the end of the day, we can just sit back and be like, right, well, it's done, and we've won a treble. So
before Haaland comes in, can I just say this? I used to be a big admirer of Liverpool.
Me too.
The football that Liverpool played in the 80s and whatnot was great football. I've stood on the Kop when Liverpool and Everton played a derby match and wondered at how friendly the fans were towards each other. Something's changed in recent years, which I don't like. And it only seems to have happened, you know, even though Bill Levers on the vlog that I did from Wembley said it had happened back in the 50s, that somebody tried to rock the bus over, ironically, the city bus, when it went to Anfield. So maybe there has been something in the past. But two things that I want to say before Haaland comes in is that, first of all, well done to Liverpool Football Club and football team for winning the Champions League, which is a great achievement. Their team in the Premier League was fantastic. To think that they got 97 points and didn't win the league, I do feel, and some City fans will hate me for saying this, but actually for the players, for the manager, and I'll say I'm a bit of a fan of Jurgen Klopp, and I think he's a great coach, and I think his attitude's great as well. There'll be people hating me for saying it, but I'm saying it. And so well done to Liverpool. And let's hope that this toxic relationship can be somehow repaired, is a big word, but certainly improved upon, and I just want to try to convince myself that it is really only about a small minority, that vociferous people on social media and that group that bricked the bus and did all that sort of stuff, because I still want to see the best in people. So well done to Liverpool. I've said it. Go on. You can shoot me down now if you want, Alan.
No, it's fine. I appreciate your opinion on that, Ian. But what I want to say is, do you remember when you were kids? Obviously, that's for me and you. Short than it is for Ian. Obviously, I know not as long, but when we were all kids, I'm sure that. No, I think the context I'm trying to say this in is that I don't know what fans were like when Ian was 15, 16, or when you were a kid at school. I don't know what fans were like then. Obviously, Liverpool were winning everything in the 80s, weren't they?
Well, they weren't on social media, and obviously there were grounds that you went to, and going to Merseyside to Liverpool and Everton was never nice. I mean, I was involved in stewarding football specials, and I remember going to a Liverpool. There was a semi-final of the League Cup, 2 legs, and we went to Anfield for one of the games. Some people remember it as the Alf Gray semi, when the referee Alf Gray disallowed what looked like a perfectly good goal. So if that takes the older listeners back to that era, that's when it was. And I remember the train going to Liverpool and being attacked and bricks coming through the window. So that was back then. Chelsea was awful. Newcastle was awful. Obviously Millwall when in the old days, and going to Old Trafford in a Manchester derby. So there were always, obviously it was terrible in the 70s. Yeah. You know, that was when all hooligans...
What I'm trying to say is, Ian, was it the same for you? Was it the same for you, Will, you as well, cameraman and producer of the Forever Blue podcast?
He's referring to Will, by the way.
Yeah,
who's
Matty, all of us. I'm sure that we all when we said to people, "Oh, who'd you support in the pub?" or when you were at a party or something like that, or something, who'd you support then? And they go, and you go City, and they go, anyone but United. And you felt like you were on the same page as every other fan in the country when it came to United. And I feel that everybody's on the same page now in the country when it comes to Liverpool. And I think that the fans that used to stand in the pub side by side with you and were on the same team as you, in a sense, are now the ones that have become that hated fan base that everybody now collectively hates back. And that's one thing that I never want us to become. And I think something I'm very proud of as a fan, and something I'm very proud of going to games and seeing our fan base acting in the way that we do, is that we never allow ourselves to... We've got a threshold, and we probably on social media get to a level where we might try and give... It might get a bit tit for tat, but we'll never cross the threshold where it'll become that abusive that the whole country would stand up and go, we now hate all City fans because all City fans are ruthless and all City fans are going to go to extreme measures to try and discredit another team or something like that. I think that our fan base have got a limiter on them where we would never ever become the most hated team in England.
I suppose.
Even, regardless, forget the fact that people hate us because of the money. Our fan base, as a fan base, isn't that toxic, and isn't that horrible to be hated as much.
Matty said something before, which is very, very pertinent to this, in that when I grew up, there was no social media. Now, social media is everything, and I wonder whether it is actually the social media that is toxic. That really there is still, because I didn't watch the game on Saturday. I was visiting my dad, and I didn't take a stance. I just didn't watch it. I saw the latter part of the game, and it didn't seem a very good game. I expected Liverpool to win, and then I watched the film and didn't bother. But in little bits that I've seen nice Liverpool fans, nice people like me, respectful people on camera. They're not all like that, and it makes me wonder whether we're getting a distorted view of this toxic relationship because of social media. Now, by definition, probably not all, but by definition, most of the people who find this podcast find it through social media. So therefore, most of the people actually listening to the podcast are probably active or look at social media. But there are still thousands of people out there, admittedly a lot of them probably older people, who don't go on social media, who aren't influenced by it, who probably still have a view of Liverpool or United or whoever it might be, different to the one that you all as active social media people have. You think that's fair?
Completely.
I think the thing is that football fans are so tribal that social media, and I'll pick out Twitter as a really strong example, is a really good place for tribalism and football fans to be really, really active, because you're hidden, you're behind a keyboard, and although you might have a profile picture, you can feel like it's all right to throw all kinds of disgusting abuse at people and almost get away with it. People put videos on there. I'm not even going to mention the video that I've seen at the weekend of the guy. I won't go into detail. The Liverpool fan performing a certain act on himself in a square in Madrid. And I thought I'd seen everything in my life, and believe me, I am no prude, but that had I just thought, well, yeah,
I think that goes back to what you said.
Liverpool.
That goes back to what you said. We would have never have seen that.
No,
social
but you
media
wouldn't see it if
Did you report that
it.
tweet, by the way?
No,
I did.
It kind of spread, and it goes viral, and before you know it, hundreds of accounts have shared it and kind of copied it, so it's on their profile as well. But it's that things get highlighted so much quicker. It's like it spreads like wildfire. But our fans aren't innocent. Spurs fans aren't innocent. United fans, all football clubs have a minority of fans who are complete and utter brain-dead morons who embarrass themselves, and not only themselves but the club as well.
So this is a serious question. If there wasn't social media, we wouldn't be as aware of all this, would we?
No.
Is social media to blame?
Well, I think it just
Gives
we
idiots
see
a
it.
platform,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it
That's
gives
literally what it is.
people a platform to kind of spread hate and encourage hate and encourage. There's